Hey, what's up, everybody? I was in the middle of doing something, but I had to stop and do this video. By the way, some of you were asking me why the camera is so shaky. It's shaky because I have packed up my tripod. I'm moving to a different location next week, so just give me about a week or two to set things up. So in the meantime, you're going to have to deal with this shaky camera. But anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about was, oh man, it's Bloomberg again. Bloomberg, the online information site. There have been many articles in the past coming out of Bloomberg which are so mired in misinformation and ideology and dogma. I mean, it's really just it's disgusting already. I mean, I don't go there, but these articles tend to pop up, and I saw it. So there was an article today about Trump's budget, and as you know, the budget is horrific. I mean, I went through the numbers. If you cut 3.6 trillion, that's 360 billion. You're in a massive economic depression. But anyway, this one author there, this guy Tyler Cowen. I guess he's a known guy. He's out there online. He writes articles. He's economist supposedly from George Mason University and Harvard. By the way, George Mason University, from all the encounters I have had with economists who came from George Mason University, they are stuck in a gold standard era. Newsflash, you George Mason people, we're not on a gold standard anymore. We're on floating exchange rates and non-convertible currency. So different paradigm there, guys. Anyway, this guy Tyler Cowen, he says if this budget's going to work, and he was like somewhat optimistic, but he's saying there's some ifs. If the budget's going to work, it has to rely on this formula, and the formula is that G, which is GDP growth, cannot exceed R. R, which is in this equation, and of course this equation was created by all these completely out of paradigm neoclassical economists at places like Harvard and Stanford and George Mason. They spit out like coming out of an assembly line. But R is the cost of government financing. So these guys are living in a world of fixed exchange rates or a gold standard where there is no where the government doesn't have sovereignty over its own money. It literally borrows from the credit market. So here's my question to Tyler Cowen, because he said it can work, as long as the financing rate is not that high. Not understanding, of course, that, so what if it is high? The government is the net payer of interest. It just credits bank accounts with whatever interest it has to pay. But let's go to this point. The financing rate, Tyler, has been zero for the past 9 years, essentially. I mean, yeah, it's up to 1% now, but I mean, basically it's been zero. And growth is under your formula, equation. We should have had infinite growth, right? I mean, if the cost of financing is zero, we should have had infinite growth, and that's what it was. But they don't care about that. They don't care about looking into the contradictory things, like massively contradictory to what they are trying to explain. So like, as long as the rates don't get too high, Trump's program will be okay. It's not going to be okay. You can't cut 3.6 trillion. You can't cut 360 billion a year. I'm telling you that right now. So this is another example of this loony, dopey world of economics that we live in. Bunch of freaking retards out there. They don't know what they're talking about. By the way, that's why I'm running for president, because I am the only one who not only understands this stuff, but I'm the only one personally who can put it into application, who can make it happen. So please, go to my GoFundMe site. It's gofundme.com/Mike Norman for president, and please contribute. So Tyler Cowen, you're living in a world that is inapplicable to the world that we are living in currently, which is free-floating exchange rates, and that makes a whole lot of difference, my friend. See everybody later. Bye-bye.